Good afternoon. With our recent pegboard adventures, my wife thoroughly enjoyed organizing and hanging tools on the pegboard. She was disappointed, however, with the options we had for organizing screwdrivers, because we apparently have a lot of screwdrivers, a lot of flathead screwdrivers, and nut drivers, and things with handles that could be hung up. But the commercial options for hangers for pegboard are very limited and don't really utilize space all that well. So I did a little research and found a design, and it reminded me of how to do the attachment for wood to pegboard, and I'd forgotten that. We're going to work on that today. Be sure to measure the holes in your pegboard to ensure their spacing. So these are center about 1 inch. Also measure the other direction, which also looks to be about 1 inch. Starting with some scraps out of my scrap bin. These were from the camper conversion. I pulled these out the other day for a different project. So I've got a couple of these. This is that 45 cut off from a 2x4. And then I've got some, I guess, what is this, 3/8? Because I guess that would, each layer would be about 1/8. 3/8 plywood drop. It is approximately 3 inches wide and about 26 inches long. Not that that really matters for anything, but oops, that might come into play in a bit. This one's got a big crack down the middle, which looks like I stepped on it, so we'll probably cut that off. So this material will hold the screwdrivers, and these are the screwdrivers and or nut driver types of things that have been or are being accumulated. We can see that the base of the handle, the hilt of the handle, is about, looks smaller than 1 inch. Just a little under 1 inch, and that's fairly consistent as an average. This one's going to break the bank. That one's very undersized, but the shafts themselves are relatively small. So what I have is a drill bit here somewhere. That is a little bit larger than the shaft, and this will come in handy for things like flathead screwdrivers, or may not work with the nut drivers. We're gonna have to come back for the nut drivers. And even this guy is a one-off. It's a little bit wider than this. I just measured, and these drops are wider than the 3/8 inch plywood that I was going to use as the base. So what I'll do is I'll cut off the bad side, and I'll use this, the cutoff in place of this material. I was going to use this material as a brace since it's a little bit thinner. A little bit thinner, not much. And I was going to use it as a brace against the wall. But what I'm trying to do is do minimal number of cuts, and I'd have to cut this down. So I'll just use this as a drop. Since the handles are roughly 7/8 of an inch in diameter, my intention is to space these out about 1 inch, and my thought was to stagger them like so. I was thinking about 10 inches long, which would put me, I was planning on about 10 inches long arbitrarily, so that would put me about here. And I could probably space these out about every, what do you think, 1.5 inches? Just easier to read. Oh no, that's one. Oh, I guess we could do it about every inch. So that would give me, is that gonna work? Almost. Something like that. And then alternate the ones on the front so they're in between, just to hold on to the material. So we'll inset from the front roughly 1 inch. We'll inset from the back. That's not going to work. Scratch that. We'll do 3/4 inch. So what we'll do is we'll inset 3/4 inch from the front. And we'll inset 3/4 inch from the back. This is arbitrary. And we'll connect those lines up. There's a hole there. Hopefully that'll line up with what I was planning on doing. Oops. Yeah, I've got to sand this up to clean it up, but you can see my 2 lines. So my size of 10 inches was arbitrary. The spacing from front to back is arbitrary. I have no plans. I'm just kind of going with it. Ironically, I have 10 washers of this size, so we can see what the spacing would look like across this 10-inch piece of wood, which gives me space easily for 9 holes. And then to offset them in between, I don't really have enough to illustrate that so much, but if we count the gaps, I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus my 9, which will give me a really odd number of 17. 17. Why not? And I am going to start the first hole over the hole I poked through with the pencil. And that puts us about 1 inch in, and then a spacing of about 1 inch. Huh. Guess I could. Yeah, that'd work. What does that give me? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 19. I guess that's just about as odd as before. But that works out okay. So spacing will look like that ish. And I'm okay with that. And to cut the supports, I'm going to do something different. Instead of, this is a radial arm saw, and I can pivot this, but instead I'm going to show you a trick just in case you don't have a radial arm saw or a miter saw. So I've got my blade pulled out a bit. This is at a 45-degree angle. I've cut it. I don't remember what it was from. I'm going to place it right there. I've got a clamp, and now this is a cut. If I put the board down here against the backstop, if I make a cut, that's going to be at 45 degrees. So that's my trick for this. So there's a 45-degree brace. I will attach to the bottom of this just like that. Now to get the other piece, if I turn the piece like this, I get my second 45-degree angle. So on my little drill press table top that we have here, I do not have a way of indexing the 1 inch, so I'm just going to do this by hand, eyeball it based on my marks, change out the bits, and then drill some holes. Oh, those are right ugly. And that spacing is going to be off because that was where that hole was. The void in the plywood. So I'm just going to go drill that where it sits. All right. All right, it looks like that void runs all the way through, so I'm not going to drill that one out. And I'll probably use that side. Still ugly. Time to clean it up. So this looks like crap. This is not fine woodworking. This is shop infrastructure, shop furniture, shop tools. I'm gonna put the bad side here so that I know to put that side down. And that's not much prettier. But this has got extra holes in it, which we don't want to use. This is where the void was. So I'll treat this as a prototype. And I have solid wood. I'm looking up at a shelf that I can use to build something better out of this. I'll do more on size and scale and determine spacing and all of that. For the meantime, let's see. There's, that one won't fit. That'll fit. That'll fit. That'll fit. That one probably could, but not quite. That one. See, this is, oh, there's, oh, well, that one. Oh, that's a, I don't know what that is. Pry bar, no, that won't fit. Okay, so for regular screwdrivers, that'll work fine on spacing. So if you go back earlier to measuring the holes in your pegboard, they are, for mine, are roughly 1 inch apart. So I am marking 1 inch on this side and hole, please. I think a key to being a good woodworker, mechanic, engineer is knowing what tools you have and how to use those tools. And this would be the right tool for the job. So this being a square, I've got it set to 1 inch. Measure it this way because I'm going to drill the hole on the back. I should probably do it under 1 inch so I come out right at 1 inch. So I'm going to mark that and I'm going to drill on that side of the hole. And I'll come over here and oh, look at that. That's going to be a mess. So let me come in 2 inches. Actually, I'll just come in 2 inches on both sides. Hole, please. Okay, so I'm just a little under 2 inches. And by doing 2 inches, I'll miss that void. I can drill pretty much on that line. And on that line, which should be right there in the middle, and right there in the middle. Now, why am I interested in drilling a hole? Because of these guys. These are L hooks, and this was the factor that was missing from my idea, my plan. I had to go back and find this. So this screws into the back here with about a 1/4 inch hanging out, and then that slips into the pegboard, and ta-da, it's pegboard mounted. So I'll drill these holes and I'll screw these in. Okay, so they say measure twice and cut once. This would have benefited me to pay a little bit more attention because where I want the holes on the side actually just barely missed that hole. So by dumb luck, barely missed that hole. By dumb luck, I missed both of those holes, and if I had planned just a little bit more, then there would not have been a concern. Now, in theory, these guys will screw in, and they'll be sticking out 1/4 inch. And time lapse. Well, that's enough of that. Okay, so those are in there roughly 90 degrees. Yeah, roughly 90 degrees. They are 90 degrees, but roughly perpendicular. Is that right? Perpendicular? I don't know. To the planes that they need to be for this to, mount, and they're adjustable. All right, so what that brings me to are these guys. Now, you can either attach them to the bottom, like so, but take a look at your holes and see if you're going to have any interference, and that would be okay, and that would be okay. Or you can mount them to the sides and then trim them down, because I've over sanded this corner and that would be ugly. I'm just going to go ahead and mount them to the bottom. Because this is a prototype and very, very ugly, all I'm going to do is do some brad nails, because this is going to hold this way away from the wall, and then this is going to support this pushing down on the wall this way. So if I put a couple of brad nails in here, that will just keep these two pieces together, and then all of the force will be down and into the wall. I don't have a corner clamp, so I'm going to do it like this. All right, now that that's there, I can hold it against the table and put a second one in. Almost came outside, yay. So I'll do this one the same way. That worked well for everybody. And it keeps fingies out of the way. Need a little bit of a shim. Fiddle, fiddle, fiddle. Off camera action. Okay, so there are the sides. 2 nails per. Like I said, this is only going to support it in this direction against the wall. We know that the screwdrivers fit, so I will go test fit this in the pegboard. All right, different piece of pegboard, but we have it lined up to the holes. I can't do this with one hand, so I'm going to pause. And there it is mounted. Now, I say mounted, it is inside the pegboard. This pegboard is actually kind of laying down at an angle. And got a little bit of a gap, which I can probably tighten those screws up. I gave myself some slop, so yeah, I can tighten those up, and that'll pull that right in. And then even way out here, it pushes down and all the force is there. So I think I'm okay. Just a quick little, I say little, it's this big and quick, I don't know how long this took, piece of shop infrastructure to help my wife organize more stuff, help organize the many flathead screwdrivers that we have accumulated, so that we can determine which ones we want to keep, need to keep, and others that can go on someplace else, it'd be beneficial elsewhere. We're doing some work in the shop, and I wanted to share, here is the final resting place. Okay, so not the final, but you get the idea. I had to open up some holes for larger headed screwdrivers. You can see that this one will not go down through there. And then we stuck some other stuff in here and this is to illustrate the point that that's how too small half the holes are. Here's a file that needed a home, stuck it in there. Here's a couple of nails that needed a home. Actually, that's a punch, and the big one's a nail. But there it is. I like it. My wife obviously loved it. She organized all the screwdrivers here. We still need about 3 more of these, believe it or not, for screwdrivers and files and some other stuff. I may do this with Forstner bits or a similar storage option for well, here's a great example of a thing that's just kind of sitting there, but could be attached in a similar manner. Anyway, there it is. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.
Too many hobbies, not enough time.
It's a theme song, y'all.